Welcome back. It is now roster expansion day. I have played through the month of August. I know it's a weird way to start a video. Yes, I played through the entire month. No, we did not do well. At all. Let's see, 10 and 18. That's still somehow our second best month. That's awful. Okay, here's a little check-in on the team. We can't hit. We can pitch a little bit better, but our bullpen stinks. But it is roster expansion day, which means we get 28 players on our Major League roster. Let's comb through our 40-man to see who potentially we want on our roster. Brelander Baroa is a guy I thought of, but he's not tearing up AA, so not him. Sam Bachman. Some bullpen help. I also claimed Bryce Elder off the waivers. He was an all-star last year. It's an interesting thing that he was on the waivers because I really like his stuff. We could move Veras back up. We could move Sosa. But we could also... Rafael is hurt. We could move up Familia, who's gotten some MLB playing time. An extra left-handed power bat. Why not? Familia. And Alec Boehm continues to rake in AAA. It'd be nice to have some help. I don't know if he's been optioned 3 times, so he would stay up for the rest of the season. Alec Boehm would be out of options, but I guess he could be optioned. All right, we're gonna try Alec Boehm, unless Wilfred Veras has turned it around. No, he's been slow in AAA too. So Lennon Sosa's another guy I could see being back in the majors. Or we could get a guy like, this is who I'm going to go with. Jose Rodriguez. Some good playing time, get him some good playing time. He's only played 8 days in the majors. Interesting. But we will sub these guys in and out for the rest of September. Hopefully we don't lose over 100 games, but it's looking like that's what we're going to do. Let's do a little prospect check-in. Rafael is hurt. Wilfred Veras struggled in the majors. 1.6. He could never hit with runners on base, especially not runners in scoring position. Jacob Burke is doing well in AA. He could be up next year, perhaps. Jacob Gonzalez, again, pretty good in AA. He'll stay in the minors. Maybe he'll be a 2027 guy. Samuel Zavala has gone up a ton in ratings. A ton. He's still striking out a bunch. He's stealing at a better rate. His fielding has gotten better. I'm really impressed with Zavala. He'll potentially be in the majors next year. Michael Arroyo's doing well. Braden Montgomery, our last year's first-round pick, he's not developing all that fast. His defense is getting better. It's at max where it's supposed to be. He's hitting a lot of home runs. It's his first year in the minors. He's the 58 overall prospect. Maybe he's a 2027 guy. Misael Urbina, who we traded for, is doing pretty well. Not awful in high A. Ryan Burrows was a guy before us. He's decent. I moved him out of rookie ball. Ali Camarillo, not too bad in his first, minor league time. He looks like his hitting ratings are going to be really bad, but he'll be a pretty good fielder. I wonder if he'll see major league action ever. Chris Stanfield, who we drafted this year. Not awful, not great. He's only played 9 games. Verdin, not great, but he was, he's 17. He's got plenty of time. Dan Zayson hasn't played yet. Sawyer Farr continues to not be great. Theo Gillen, also not very good. So our 2024 guys haven't looked great. Adonis hasn't gotten time yet. Coffer also hasn't gotten time yet. So a bunch of the guys we drafted this year haven't played a game yet. Nick McLean, a guy who I was hoping would be closer to the big leagues at this point, has not done well. Kees Van Dorst, on the other hand, is pitching very well. 18-year-old free agent, international free agent signing. Kai McGarry's not doing awful, but at the end of the day, we have a bunch of prospects. We have a bunch of interesting prospects. Let's check the waiver wire, see who we can pull off any interesting younger. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing anybody interesting. I also put Jimmy Joyce on the waivers. He was really bad. He was also really bad in AAA. So it was his time to get taken off the 40-man. All right, this is my little update for you guys. We still stink, and we've clinched a losing record a long time ago. It's just a matter of making it to the end of the year, and we're kind of falling to the end of the year at this point. Well, it's the final day of the season, and the 2025 White Sox were not good. We're not good. We had a few highlights, a few positives, but overall it was a rather negative season. We went 63-99. That's bad. But we did avoid losing 100 games, so positive, I guess. Some major positives. Some decent positives. Jorge Barroso was serviceable, Rule 5 draft player. Hopefully he'll get better. Jacob Marseille, quite good in his rookie season. Didn't play a full season, came up halfway through the year, but certainly did plenty for us. Hopefully he walks a little more and strikes out a little less, but, we'll take what we can get. Lou Bob is, doing Lou Bob things. He's still fragile, so we have to keep that in mind. But 4.2 WAR ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's a good season. Hunter Rowan, not awful. Hit a lot of home runs, struck out a ton. I think that's what he's going to do for our team. Brian Ramos, once he came up to the majors, did a lot better, hit a lot more home runs. Still, his potential went up a ton while he was in the minors. Moncada, after the trade, 1.2 WAR. Not too bad. 6 home runs with us, 294 batting average, 116 OPS plus. That's a positive. Colson Montgomery, good rookie season, 101 OPS plus, so not a great OPS plus, but 1.4 WAR, pretty good for a rookie campaign. Edgar Cuero played kind of the last 2 months with us. Not great, not awful. We'll see kind of how he progresses. I'm hoping I'll be able to get him in the lab and improve his blocking and framing. His arm is decent, but that's not really what I'm concerned about. Nicky Lopez, we should just ignore. Who else? Arteaga, not great, not awful. He's a Rule 5 draft guy. I'll probably put him down in the minor leagues again, most likely AAA. Gabe Arias will become our full-time shortstop after we do that. He was pretty good after the trade. Hopefully this gap in this power, or this gap in this eye, kind of pan out for us. And Tunez, another Rule 5 draft guy, he was actively bad. I could have, sent him back to the Cubs, who we took him from, but I opted, since, the team already stunk, why not let it stink some more and keep this guy around? He might be organizational depth, he might, his potential's got worse. He had 50s all, 50 potential all around, and his gap in power got worse, so Hopefully that doesn't happen with our other players. Familia wasn't great. He was a trade guy. He came up in September. We weren't expecting him to be, fantastic. It's kind of organizational depth at best. Good power, but not great everything else. Pitching-wise, Crochet was one of our two best pitchers. His record doesn't show a lot, but he walked a ton of people. Like 5.1 walks per 9 is bad. Good ERA plus, was worth a lot of F-WAR. Drew Thorpe was very good for us in his rookie campaign. Maybe he'll be a Rookie of the Year candidate. This is certainly, Rookie of the Year numbers. I'm not sure what other rookies around the league did, but Drew Thorpe was really good. Adam Kloffstein, who we traded for, wasn't awful. 12 games, 65 innings, only 5 home runs. Good stuff. 1.6 WAR in 12 games is not bad, and he's still getting better. His control's getting better. He's an extreme ground baller, and he's only 25, so looking forward to having him a part of this team. Christopher Sanchez lost a lot of games, but was still good for us. Struck out more than expected, and Soroka was decent. He gave up more home runs than he did last year. That was his bane of this year, is he gave up a lot more home runs, especially in his last 5 games. He gave up 11 home runs. That's really bad. But his control got better, and I'm sure, if you look at his contract, what he's asking for, nobody will pay him that, but I won't be bringing him back to the team. Bullpen, Jordan Leisure was potentially our best bullpen guy. Mason Fluharty was a very good rookie, 1.1 WAR, pitched a lot of innings. Ian Hamilton pitched a lot of games for us, 80 innings. For us, 84 total. He was a waiver claim. He was clutch. He was a workhorse. Everything I wanted. Jake Cousins, not great, not awful. Almonte was pretty bad. He walked a lot and gave up a decent amount of home runs. It was mainly his walks and his whip. Tanner Banks, pretty good. Pretty good. Kind of what I got from him last year when I had him up in the majors. He struck out more people, but walked a few more people, gave up a few more home runs. Carlos Vargas was a waiver claim. He didn't really spend a lot of time on our major league roster. Sixto Sanchez, we'll see where he goes, because it looks like he's kind of done developing. And if we have other pieces that he's kind of blocking, then we will get rid of him. Maybe we'll focus more on a guy like Bryce Elder, who is better than Sixto Sanchez. But Bryce Elder, not too bad. Generally, there are a lot of positives about this team. No matter how much they sucked, no matter how they couldn't get on base or we couldn't bat, there are positives. The team started to come together towards the end of the season. If you look at our team stats, 14-11 in September, 10-18. If you just look at August and September, we are a lot closer to 500. Here are our team stats. We were awful in base running. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to make that better, but that's something I should work on. Here's your 2025 playoff tree. The Orioles versus the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Astros versus the winner of Rays and Twins. Cards versus Braves and Padres. Dodgers versus Marlins and Mets. Braves take one from the Padres. Marlins take one from the Mets. Everybody evens it out. Red Sox beat the Yankees. Twins beat the Rays. St. Louis versus Braves. Dodgers versus Mets. Twins versus Astros. And Red Sox versus Orioles. All right. All right. St. Louis is up 2-0 on the Braves, and the Mets are up 2-0 on the Dodgers. Let's keep going. Mets sweep the Dodgers in 3 games. Braves get 1 back on St. Louis. Red Sox are up 2-1 on the Orioles. Twins are up 2-1 on the Astros. And St. Louis and the Braves are even. Alrighty. Twins and Red Sox is our league championship. Knock the Orioles out. Wow. This team would win a World Series in real life. I don't know how they lost anything. My God. Felix Bautista, borderline MVP year. That's crazy. I don't know how this team lost. I hope that's not the story in real life. But anyways. All right. Here are your divisional round, or here are your championship series round teams. Red Sox looks like their best player is Devers, who could be an MVP, it looks like. And are led by, their rotation doesn't look fantastic, but Whitlock, pretty good, didn't walk a lot of people, which is interesting. The Twins, running it back, looks like they got this guy, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Looks like he's going to be a power bat, hits a lot of nukes. Who else? Gleyber Torres, they still had pretty much the same team, except they got Zach Gallen in the offseason, and he looks like he could win Cy Young. Did they? Yeah, they already had Luzardo. But this is a very good team. The Cardinals, again, pretty good, same thing, but they got Wilmer Flores, and that's about it for the same. I got this guy Mike Burrows, I guess. He's been quite good. His ratings are pretty good, so that doesn't surprise me. And the Mets, surprisingly, Jet Williams, insane ratings, pretty good hitter. Looks like his value might come from fielding. Yeah, he's got really good fielding stats. And the rest, Ryan Mauricio and Drew Gilbert, they've got, it looks like a really good young core. Brett Beatty has been awful in real life, but apparently is a 6-WAR player in the save. Interesting. Would be crazy if it happened in real life. Francisco Alvarez, again, fantastic. I'm not sure if that's going to look like that in real life. Even guys like Mark Vientos are really good in this save. Which is so wild to me. Kodai Senga, David Peterson. So it doesn't look like their starting rotation is fantastic, but it's quite good. Edwin Diaz is back to his normal stuff. 3.5 WAR out of the bullpen is absolutely phenomenal. So there are your championship series teams. Let's get into it. All right, Mets take the first one from the reigning champions. And the second, Twins take the first one from the Red Sox. And the second from the Red Sox. Okay, looks like we have Braden Shoemaker's retiring, Jake Eder is retiring, a few other guys. Looks like we might be headed to our AA is absolutely killing it. Mets up 3-0 on the Cardinals. The Mets sweep the reigning champions. And the Twins are up 3-0 on the Red Sox. Lantigua, Deloach, and Grant Anderson retire. Wow, Zach Deloach retired? Interesting. So Lantigua was a guy we traded. He was bad. He was real bad. Red Sox get one back on the Twins. And is a Twins and Mets 2025 World Series. First game goes to the Mets. Mets win game 2. Twins get one back. Mets win game 4. It's the 3-1 Mets. And the Mets are the 2025 World Series champions. That's crazy. Imagine, Mets fans, if that happened in real life. Imagine. Okay, who is your... I would assume it's... Yeah, it's Brett Beatty. I believe. Yeah, Brett Beatty wins the World Series MVP. Thank you guys for watching once again. I'm sorry this season was an absolute disappointment. You know, record-wise, but we are in a rebuild. This is how it's supposed to look. We weren't going to get better the first and second year, but we are still getting better, and that's what matters to me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Be safe. Please subscribe, like the video. And once again, thank y'all.